In the mountains of Japan, when winter arrives, something remarkable happens. Snow blankets the forests, temperatures drop sharply, rivers slow under layers of ice, and yet, rising from the earth itself, columns of steam drift upward through the frozen air. These are Japan's hot springs, known as onsen. And in winter, they become something almost impossible to describe. The combination of cold air, heavy snow, and scalding mineral water creates an experience that feels completely removed from ordinary life. Deep in the valleys, surrounded by cedar and pine, rustic wooden bathhouses have been welcoming travelers for centuries. So why do Japan's mountain onsen feel so different from anything else in the world? And what keeps drawing people deeper into the wilderness to find them? The answer begins with the land itself. Japan sits on one of the most volcanically active zones on the planet. Beneath the surface, tectonic forces push hot water upward through cracks in the rock. That geothermal energy reaches the surface at thousands of locations across the country. Japan has more than 3,000 onsen areas nationwide. Some are small, hidden springs accessible only by narrow mountain roads. Others have developed into full resort towns over hundreds of years. But the most sought after are the ones that feel genuinely remote. The ones where the only sounds are falling snow, wind moving through bare branches, and the steady rush of hot water flowing into a stone basin. These deeply hidden springs even have a name. They're called Hikyou Onsen, secret or hidden hot springs, and reaching them is rarely easy. Some require hours of hiking through snow. Others sit at the end of unpaved roads that close entirely during heavy winters. A few can only be accessed by mountain railway lines that run infrequently. That difficulty is part of the appeal. Arriving after a long journey through cold mountain terrain and then lowering yourself into water that hovers between 40 and 45 degrees creates a contrast that feels almost medicinal. The body responds immediately. Muscles loosen, breathing slows, the cold that had pressed against the skin just moments before becomes a distant memory. This temperature gradient creates what Japanese bathing culture calls Nukumori, the profound sensation of warmth settling gradually into the body. The contrast is far more intense in winter than summer, creating a physiological reset for both body and mind. What makes winter onsen especially striking is the visual atmosphere. Snow accumulates on the edges of outdoor baths, called rotenburo. Steam rises so thickly that the surrounding trees sometimes disappear entirely behind it. On clear nights, stars appear through gaps in the mist. The wooden architecture of traditional bathhouses, dark with age and moisture, blends so naturally into the mountain environment that it's hard to tell where the building ends and the landscape begins. Many of these structures have stood for generations. The wood absorbs the mineral water over decades. The stone basins develop a faint mineral crust. Everything feels earned through time. The water itself varies dramatically depending on location. Japan's onsen are classified by their mineral content. Sulfur springs carry that distinctive sharp smell and leave the skin feeling remarkably smooth. Iron-rich springs tint the water a deep amber or rust color. Sodium bicarbonate springs feel almost silky. Some locations combine multiple mineral profiles, and local residents often attribute different health effects to each type. Whether or not those claims hold up scientifically, the ritual of bathing in naturally heated mineral water has been woven into Japanese culture for well over 1,000 years. Ancient records mention onsen being used for healing as far back as the 7th century. Certain springs have become legendary among onsen enthusiasts for their mineral properties. Radium-rich waters attract visitors seeking relief from arthritis and chronic pain. Whether the effects come from thermal conditioning or mineral composition, generations of regular bathers report genuine therapeutic benefits. The cultural relationship Japan has with onsen goes beyond simple bathing. It's deeply social. Communal bathing has historically served as one of the few spaces where social distinctions blur. In a traditional onsen, there are no uniforms, no status signals, no visible hierarchy. Just people sharing the same water. That social function became even more pronounced in mountain communities, where isolated villages relied on shared bathhouses as gathering spaces through long winters. Even today, many rural onsen towns maintain a strong sense of community around their springs. Locals bathe alongside visitors. Conversations happen across generations. The water creates a kind of shared experience that's difficult to replicate anywhere else. Running a mountain onsen through winter is not a simple operation. Snow must be cleared constantly. Pipes carrying hot spring water can freeze in exposed sections. Access roads require regular maintenance. And the remoteness that makes these places so appealing also makes supply chains complicated. Ingredients for traditional kaiseki meals must arrive by delivery, often over difficult mountain roads. Staff in small ryokan inns sometimes live on site for the entire winter season. Everything from firewood to fresh produce to towels follows a carefully managed rotation. And yet the experience presented to guests is one of effortless calm. That gap between the hidden operational complexity and the serene surface is something Japan has refined into an art form. The seasonal rhythm of mountain onsen operates on a carefully calibrated schedule. Winter staffing patterns differ significantly from summer, with skeleton crews managing operations when visitor numbers drop. Spring brings gradual road clearance and increased access. Some of the most famous winter onsen regions sit in areas that receive extreme snowfall. The Tohoku region in northeastern Japan sees snow accumulation measured in meters, not centimeters. Niigata and Nagano prefectures, deep in the mountain ranges known as the Japanese Alps, transform completely between November and April. Certain villages become accessible only by a single road, and even that road closes temporarily during heavy storms. The sense of isolation intensifies everything. The quiet feels heavier, the warmth of the water feels more necessary, and the experience of sitting outdoors in a hot spring while snow falls steadily around you becomes the kind of memory that stays with people for years. The isolation becomes itself a form of luxury in the modern world. There's a particular quality to the light on winter mornings in mountain onsen towns. It arrives slowly, filtered through cloud and forest. The steam catches the first pale sunlight and scatters it softly across the snow. The wooden buildings glow faintly. Footprints in fresh snow lead from the inn toward the outdoor bath, and the air carries that faint mineral trace that signals the water is near. It's a sensory combination that has no real equivalent anywhere else. Not quite silence, not quite warmth, not quite wilderness. Something that sits precisely between all three, suspended in the cold mountain air above a place where the earth has been quietly producing heat for longer than anyone can remember.